Hello world, my name is Tim Roswick, and today I want to talk about what happens if they hate your game. Because I know what it's like. One, I was scared of that, but I also had people that actually hated my game, and I want to talk about how to get over that fear. But I also want to talk about how to deal with it when it happens, because those are two things that come up fairly often. So if you don't know, I made a game called Philophobia: The Fear of Love. It is a game where love is literal hell, and all of the enemies are made out of heart shapes. It was a deeply emotional game that is about relationship issues and love issues and CPTSD and trauma and dealing with it's just about a bunch of emotions. Okay, and one of my biggest fears was, what if people hate the game? Because here I am pouring my heart and soul into this game, and so this game represents me, right? This isn't just like a run-of-the-mill game that I made some dumb mechanics and I threw it together. This is like a pure representation of like my heart and soul, right? Like I'm crying on stream and shit while I'm making this game. This game is like therapeutic for me. So what happens if people hate it? Well, they did. A lot of people hated it, but a lot of people loved it too. And it was interesting because my greatest fear leading up to launch, I launched it in 2019 on February 2019 on itch, and then I launched it on Steam February 2020. And both times I felt like this deep visceral fear, like what if they hate it? And for so long I was obsessed with making a great game because I didn't want people to hate it. And when it launched, I got a lot of people said a lot of good things about it, right? Like, it had fun, it was fantastic, it was a good little experience. They liked the way that the game is based on the 5 stages of grief. They liked the story, they liked the ending, whatever it was. But I found myself looking for those negative reviews. I found myself searching. When the Steam launch happened and you could actually see the reviews where it's thumbs up or thumbs down, I would sort by negative. And I would look, like, forget all the positive reviews. I would sort by negative and look at the top negative comments and see what people had to say. And it hurt. But then I realized that there are people out there, and I have experience with some of them, where they were going to hate anyway. Like, their hate has nothing to do with the game. I've had people go through my video catalog, edit videos of me out of context, put them in weird spots just to hate on me. Like, the amount of work that it took for them to put together this hate video is ridiculous. Like, how much time did that take you to, like, just say some dumb shit? I'm laughing about it now because I've dealt with it, and I've dealt with it on the same game more than once, right? I've done more than one launch, so I remember the feeling, though, the terrifying feeling. And if you feel that way, if you feel like you're just scared of that people are going to hate it, I want to tell you something. And this may or may not be good for you to hear. You may not want to hear it, but this is a realization that I had that helps me kind of overcome all this. First thing, people are going to hate your game. 100% they are going to hate your game. What I didn't realize during my obsession of making a good game was that good game does not mean all people like it. Good game means this is a circle of people, this is a circle of game compatibility, and your game compatibility overlaps the people circle, right? But there's a circle over here that hates your game genre, your type of game, and your game circle does not over. I'm doing like visualization charts with my hands. I don't know. You get it. It's like a Venn diagram, and your game overlaps with a certain audience, right? And the audience that overlaps with your game in a Venn diagram are the ones that think it's a good game. But there's lots of audiences that don't overlap with your game that will always think it's a bad game. Some will be nicer and they'll say, oh, it's just not my genre. Some will be meaner and they'll say, this game sucks. This game is garbage. Some will make dick jokes based on 4 years of your life's work. That's okay. That's normal. Matter of fact, let me put it in a different way. I hate clicker games. I hate them so much. I don't understand them. I don't understand why anybody would make a game that's so boring that you have to click a bunch to earn money to click less. You're playing the boring game so that you don't have to play the boring game. The upgrades are that you have to play less of the game. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand it. If you're making a clicker game, look, I'm sorry, but I hate your game. It's not where I saw the video going, but I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But here's the thing. You don't got to worry about me, because if you spend all of your time trying to make a clicker game that I like, you're going to be out of luck. You're going to put a whole bunch of effort into something that is never going to see the light of day. It's never going to succeed at that goal. Because I fucking hate clicker games. I think they're stupid. But you know what? There's a big audience out there that plays them. I don't understand them. I don't know why they play them, but they do. And so if you spend your time trying to make a game that I like, trying to make a clicker game that I like, you're going to have a hard time. If you spend your time instead trying to make a clicker game they like, you could have some success with that, right? This has been said a lot. If you've done any kind of like, you read articles and stuff like that, you've probably read stuff about target audiences and making a game for your audience and all that stuff. It's pretty general, but I think the thing that people miss a lot when it comes to like making the right game for the right person is that they forget that it's okay for people to hate their game. Like, it offends them, and it did for me too. Like, I wanted so bad to just like make a game that everybody loved, and like it's just not possible. It's just not possible. And then on top of that, I made a rage platformer, which if there's ever a love or hate game, it's that game, right? Like, it is. I've had negative reviews and refunds just because this game is so fucking hard. I've had somebody told me they were like, I've had just ridiculous things that people said about it, right? But then some people are like, oh, I really enjoy the challenge, I really enjoy the difficulty. And then bizarrely, some people are like, oh, I thought this game was going to be harder. Like, I beat the game and they got like 2 hours on record. Like, how did you do that? I can't even do that. Speedrunners beating it in like 28 minutes and shit. It's insane. So like, if there's anything that ever shows you the vast array of players, it's that right there, right? That like, you cannot make one thing that's perfect for 7 billion people, right? It's why game genres exist. It's why there are breakdowns and categories and tags and all these things, because there's so many different people that like different things. This shared global economy now is about finding the specific group of people that likes your thing, rather than making a thing that appeals to all the groups of people. So people absolutely are going to hate your game. Now, how do you get over that? How do you actually like take a step back and have it stop affecting you? Well, this is another thing that you're probably not going to want to hear, but the only thing that worked for me was exposure to it. I read a bunch of stuff. I tried to do a bunch of research. I tried to look up stuff. I tried to like deal with stuff. I tried to ignore stuff. I tried it all. But the only thing that really kind of helped me deal with these negative reviews and negative comments and people talking bad about me is just the overall exposure to it. Just being exposed to it over and over again. And let me tell you, if you want to get used to negative comments, start a YouTube channel, because people say some mean ass shit, man. People say some mean shit. And bizarrely, for a long time, I would go through my comments, good comment, good comment, good comment, bad comment. And then somebody would like insult me and say something really bad, or just plain out lie, just like say dumb shit that's just a pure lie. And like my instinct would be like to defend myself. And I would, for a long time, like I only responded to the negative comments because those are the only ones that I felt like needed some kind of like, I need to justify myself, or I need to defend myself. But I realized that like, those are the last people that deserve my attention, right? Those are the people that have clearly shown me that they're not my audience. They're not a part of this group, right? It's just for YouTube videos, but also for games, right? Like there's a group of people that like hate the way that I do videos. They hate the unedited talking head style videos. If you made it this far into this video, Maybe you hate me, but maybe you don't. Maybe this is your style of video. Maybe you're listening to me while you work, right? It's just compatible with you more than it is with other people. And that's fine. And for me personally, I spent a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to make this better for the people that didn't like me, that didn't like the content, that didn't like my games. But that was just a waste of effort. Because what I've started doing instead is doubling down on people that do like me, that do like the content, that do like the format, right? Because this is what I'm good at. So if I can focus on the things that I'm good at and just be the best I can be for the target group of people that I overlap with, that's how you make the best of your situation, right? And exposure to that negativity, it can fuck you up. It really can. Like I've talked about depression and stuff on the channel a lot, and I went through really negative moods, and some of them brought on by just like an influx of negativity through the internet. Because I would read all this stuff. Somebody post my video on Facebook, and like the Facebook group would tear me apart. Or like I remember I made a video about color theory a while back, and this is when I was doing daily videos, and I really didn't give the video the thought that it needed. And so the video was basically like, Google it, which, you know, it should have been a better video, but I think the title was wrong, because the actual video was about finding colors that look good together, but then I called it color theory, which I think was a mismatch of title. Anyway, it was like a mistake, right? But then it got posted to Reddit, and like the fucking people just tore me apart. I remember reading through each one of those comments like, oh man, like it's just a bunch of people that hate me. And then I would like go look at other stuff, and same thing with Photophobia. There was like a group of people that, for whatever reason, they just left these negative, fucked up reviews, and that was their thing. They just left a bunch of negative reviews for a bunch of shit. And like I would go obsess over that, and I would look through this stuff, and I would like, oh, they hate my game, and like, and it's really easy to get pulled down by that stuff. But that's what a lot of these people that are all negative, that's what they want. And I know it sounds so cliche, like, oh, the haters just want to hate, man. Haters, they're never gonna like you. Like, that's generic, right? But like, it's so true, and I've lived this, I've experienced this. There are some people that exist in a gray area where you just don't make stuff for them, and they may leave a negative comment because you somehow ended up in their circle when you weren't supposed to be, right? It's just not compatible with them, and that's okay. But then there are some people that will actively seek you out and hate on you, and those people sometimes can have the most lasting effects because they've done their research, and they can look stuff up, and they can use stuff that they know hurts you. They're informed. I don't know how somebody spends all the time to watch all my videos and gathers all this information and uses that to hurt me when they don't even like know who I am. Like, it's unjust, it's fucked up, it's weird, it's bizarre, it hurts, but at the same time, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's some dude on the internet that has an opinion. Cool. I have an opinion too, and I can share mine. And what I realized, especially like, and this is you as a developer as well, is by responding to this stuff and defending yourself, you're giving some of these people a bigger platform than they had on their own, right? Like I had a person with a really negative review that was posting a video negative review around my Discord and trying to comment on my videos and share this stuff, and they were using my platform, my audience, my game to get views for their stuff, right? And I had to ban them eventually. I'd let them stick around for a while, because even though they're posting their video and stuff, I didn't have any rules against that in my Discord. I didn't have any, and I generally believe in free speech, right? Like, if you want to talk negatively about the game, that's up to you. But they were doing it in a predatory way where you could tell it was all about just like they were trying to get something out of my audience and my game and my stuff. And I noticed that with a lot of comments too. Like, there's a lot of shitty comments on YouTube. There's a lot of shitty reviews on Steam. But the second you reply to them, it lets other people know that are flying through, and it says developer replied or whatever on Steam. That makes people pay more attention, right? And honestly, to be completely honest, maybe this is a PR lesson and it's not for this video, but like, defending yourself in general is never a good idea. It's never a good idea. Anytime someone puts you in a defensive position, you've already lost. Like, if you look at it like a battle, right? You never, ever, ever want to be defending. It's like the beginning of the end. So the worst thing to do is respond. And honestly, that's what we end up doing as developers a lot of times, is sorting by negative reviews, going to the negative reviews, and only giving them attention. But in reality, look at all the positive stuff people said. Look at all the good stuff you said. Because there's a community manager and like person that needs to manage the game, right? And you definitely want to like make some of those reviews right. Like if someone says, "Oh, I can't log in, 1 star, this game sucks." As the technical operator of your product, you want to solve that problem, and you want to contact that person and let them know the game's been fixed and let them know they can update the review and all that stuff. But you're also the emotional reservoir of all this stuff, right? You're also the creator, and as the creator, you're more susceptible to some of the emotional sides of this, and you have to be aware of that. And one of the things that I've found that helps tremendously is to sometimes just shut it off. Just shut it off. Just shut it all off. When Phalophobia launched on Steam, I didn't check anything. Reviews, stats, nothing for a couple days. I just shut it off. It was too much. I knew it was going to emotionally overwhelm me. Good or bad. I knew there was nothing that any of those stats could say that would make me feel better. And I've known that because I've went through that a couple times. So shutting it off can help quite a bit. But that's basically it. The best way to get good at dealing with haters is to just be exposed to it or just completely shut it off. Sometimes both. Sometimes you gotta go through it a few times, really understand it, really feel it, and get exposed to it, and then just realize that it's not even worth reading it. So I don't read any stuff about my YouTube videos or my game or anything outside of my circle. I don't think it's relevant. If someone posts something on Facebook or Reddit about me or about whatever, I don't read it. I had to turn off Google Alerts for that reason. It's just not worth my mental health. And these people are not compatible with the things that I create. And I think you need to understand that. And then on top of that, just realize that there's always going to be people that hate your stuff. And it's something as a creator that you got to get used to, because it's part of life. That being said, these lovely people don't hate me. They love me, I think. They're part of Patreon. I would assume. If they hate me and they're subscribing every month, I don't quite get that. But I love them back. And you can be a part of the community as well if you want to go to Patreon and check out all the cool stuff we got there. Or you can join the Discord, which has thousands of game developers all across the globe. It's down in the description if you want to talk to other game devs and maybe share how you're dealing with the hate on the interwebs. But my name is Tim Roswick, and I will see you again in the next video.